Hey there everyone, today we are heading into the world of anime to give you the list of top 10 anime villains, so let's dive straight in. Number 10 Doflamingo. Don Quixote Doflamingo is one of the most menacing villains in One Piece, embodying pure evil with a mix of charisma, sadism, and overwhelming ambition. A former celestial dragon turned pirate warlord, he rules Dressrosa with an iron fist, presenting a false paradise while secretly enslaving its people and controlling the underground world. As the infamous Joker, Doflamingo thrives on chaos, manipulating both individuals and entire nations like puppets, both figuratively and literally with his string fruit Ito no Mi. His ruthless nature is evident in his complete lack of empathy, enjoying the suffering of others, whether it's forcing a father to kill his own son or laughing as he destroys an entire kingdom. Despite his cruelty, he's dangerously intelligent and always a step ahead of his enemies. His connections in the underworld and mastery of psychological warfare make him nearly untouchable. Unlike many villains who crave simple power, Doflamingo's evil is deeper. He despises the world itself and seeks to reshape it through destruction, revenge, and control. With his twisted ideology, unshakable confidence, and monstrous strength, Doflamingo isn't just a villain, he's the embodiment of a nightmare that doesn't end until everything is under his strings. Number 9 Makima. Makima, the control devil from Chainsaw Man, is the epitome of manipulative evil, wrapping her monstrous nature in a facade of warmth and authority. She presents herself as a calm, caring leader, but beneath that exterior lies a ruthless entity who views people as nothing more than disposable tools to achieve her vision of a perfect world. Her power isn't just physical, it's psychological. Makima breaks her victims without them realizing it, twisting their emotions and warping their sense of purpose until they willingly submit to her will. She doesn't kill recklessly, she destroys with precision, turning hope into despair and love into chains. Her control devil abilities make her terrifying on a cosmic level. She can dominate the minds and bodies of those she deems inferior, reducing even the strongest individuals to mere puppets. With an army of enslaved warriors and a contract with the Prime Minister of Japan that makes her functionally immortal, she operates as an unstoppable force of control. What makes Makima truly evil is her absolute lack of genuine emotions. She doesn't care for anyone, not as equals, not as subordinates, not even as pets. Every kind word, every gentle smile is a calculated move in her grand game of domination. In the end, Makima isn't just a villain, she's an inevitable force, a predator that doesn't hunt, but simply takes, bending the world until it fits her vision of obedience. Number 8 Griffith. Griffith from Berserk is the embodiment of a villain whose evil is both grand and deeply personal. Once a charismatic leader with dreams of ruling a kingdom, he ultimately sacrifices everything, including his most loyal followers, to ascend as Femto, a demonic being beyond human morality. Griffith's greatest weapon isn't just his combat ability or intellect, it's his unnatural charisma. He draws people in with his ethereal beauty and unwavering ambition, making them believe they are part of something greater. He doesn't force loyalty, he inspires it, making his betrayal all the more devastating. His descent into true evil comes at the eclipse, where he sacrifices the Band of the Hawk, his own comrades, who bled for him, offering them to demonic entities in exchange for godlike power. But what cements his villainy isn't just the act itself, it's how he desecrates Casca in front of Guts, not out of necessity, but as a final, twisted assertion of control. Now as Femto, Griffith is a God Hand member, untouchable by mortal hands and devoid of human weakness. He rules Falconia as a savior while secretly ensuring humanity remains under the thumb of darkness. What makes Griffith's evil so chilling is that he doesn't see himself as a villain. He believes in his dream, and to him, the suffering he inflicts is merely the cost of realizing his destiny. Griffith is not just an antagonist, he is the cruel answer to the question of what happens when ambition knows no limits, when dreams come at the price of everything, including one's own soul. Number 7 All for One. All for One from My Hero Academia is the ultimate embodiment of tyranny, a villain whose evil isn't driven by personal grudges or fleeting desires, but by an insatiable need to control everything. He is a shadow that has loomed over society for generations, a monster who has shaped the world from the darkness, bending people, governments, and even history itself to his will. His quirk, All for One, makes him an apex predator, stealing and bestowing quirks at will, molding himself into an unstoppable force. But his true power isn't just physical, it's psychological. He manipulates and destroys people from within, turning heroes into pawns and feeding off the weakness of others to tighten his grip on the world. What makes him truly terrifying is his calm, almost fatherly demeanor. He doesn't need to raise his voice or act violently to instill fear. He speaks with the certainty of a king addressing his subjects, fully believing that society exists only to serve his vision. He grooms successors like Tamura Shigaraki, not as equals, but as tools to extend his own reign, discarding them when they lose usefulness. All for One isn't just a villain. He is a force of nature, an entity that represents the decay of freedom and the inevitability of oppression. He doesn't fight to win, he fights to rule, and as long as he breathes, society will always be just one step away from falling completely under his grasp. Number 6 Askeladd. Askeladd from Vinland Saga is a villain defined by his cunning, ruthlessness, and layered complexity, Unlike mindless tyrants or sadistic warlords, he is a man who plays the long game, manipulating both allies and enemies to shape the world according to his own vision. At first glance, he appears to be just another Viking mercenary, cruel, opportunistic, and willing to do anything for profit. He slaughters without hesitation, burns villages, and uses deceit to survive. Yet, beneath his ruthless exterior lies an intellectual warrior who views the world with brutal realism. He despises the savage Viking culture he thrives in and secretly dreams of a greater purpose. A world free from the chaos of war. His greatest weapon isn't his sword, but his mind. He outsmarts foes, turns enemies into pawns, and controls every situation, whether through deceit or sheer force of will. Even Thorfinn, who seeks revenge against him, is nothing more than another piece in Askeladd's game. What makes him such a fascinating villain is his moral ambiguity. He is cruel, but not needlessly so. He is manipulative, but never without reason. Unlike many villains who seek power for power's sake, Askeladd is a man with a dream, one that he is willing to sacrifice everything for, even himself. His final act, killing King Sweyn and sacrificing his own life to protect Prince Canute, cements his status as a villain who transcends simple evil. He is not just a brute or a tyrant, he is a man who walks the line between hero and villain, playing the role the world forces upon him until the very end. Number 5. Madara. Madara Uchiha from Naruto is the embodiment of power, ambition, and an unshakable vision twisted into villainy. A legendary warrior and one of the most fearsome shinobi in history, he sought to reshape the world through absolute control, believing that peace could only be achieved through domination. His mastery of the Sharingan and Rinnegan made him nearly godlike, effortlessly overwhelming entire armies and even the strongest shinobi. Yet, Madara's true strength lay in his unmatched intellect and foresight, orchestrating events long after his supposed death to bring about the infinite Tsukuyomi, a forced utopia where no one would suffer, but at the cost of free will. His ideology, shaped by endless war and betrayal, led him to see humanity as incapable of true peace, making his descent into villainy almost tragic. With his cold arrogance, overwhelming power, and unwavering conviction, Madara wasn't just a villain. He was a force of nature, a man so powerful that even in defeat, his will lived on, proving that legends never truly die. Number 4. Aizen Sosuke. Sosuke Aizen from Bleach is the ultimate mastermind, a villain whose sheer intelligence, manipulation, and overwhelming power make him almost untouchable. Originally masquerading as a humble and respected Soul Reaper captain, he orchestrates his betrayal so flawlessly that even his closest allies never suspect him. His Kyoka Sujutsu ability grants him near absolute control over perception, allowing him to twist reality itself, making his enemies fight illusions while he effortlessly dismantles them. But what makes Aizen truly terrifying isn't just his power, it's his god complex. He sees himself as superior to all beings, dismissing concepts like fate and weakness, believing only in the strength of one's will to transcend limitations. Every action he takes is calculated, every word a carefully placed move in a game only he understands. Even in defeat, Aizen remains unshaken, proving that he doesn't just seek power, he seeks to rewrite existence itself. In the end, Aizen isn't just an enemy, he is a living inevitability asterisk, an embodiment of ambition so vast that even eternity isn't enough to contain him. Number 3. Miriam. Miriam from Hunter x Hunter is a villain who embodies both monstrous brutality and profound evolution, making him one of the most complex antagonists in anime. Born as the king of the Chimera Ants, he is supremely powerful, highly intelligent, and initially views humans as nothing more than livestock, existing only to be ruled or consumed. His overwhelming physical strength and strategic mind make him an unstoppable force, effortlessly crushing any who stand in his way. Yet, what makes Meruem truly compelling is his transformation. Not just in power, but in perspective. Through his interactions with Komugi, a frail yet brilliant human girl, he begins to question his own nature and the meaning of strength, shifting from a tyrant who seeks domination to a ruler capable of compassion. However, this evolution comes too late, as fate and his own past cruelty ensure his downfall. Unlike most villains, Meruem's journey is tragically poetic, showing that even a king bred for destruction can find meaning beyond power, only to be denied the time to embrace it. Number 2. Johan Liebert. Johan Liebert from Monster is a villain whose terrifying presence is rooted in his psychological manipulation, charisma, and deep, existential nihilism. A master of disguise and deception, Johan can make anyone believe in his sincerity, drawing people into his web of influence and turning them into instruments of destruction, all while maintaining a calm, almost angelic demeanor. His ultimate goal is not power or wealth but to prove the meaninglessness of life through chaos and death. Johan's intelligence and ability to manipulate people's deepest emotions make him a mastermind, orchestrating events from the shadows with chilling precision. He has no personal ambitions, no need for material wealth. His only drive is to corrupt and destroy, turning humanity into a mirror of his own apathy. His manipulation sicks his twin sister, Anna, and his ability to make people doubt their own morality and sanity, show how deeply he can affect those around him. Johan isn't just a villain. He represents the darkness that lies within humanity, a force that pulls others into an abyss where empathy and meaning are destroyed. Number 1. Lelouch. Lelouch v Britannia from Code Geass is a complex anti-hero whose brilliance, ambition, and moral ambiguity make him both a compelling protagonist and a villain in his own right. Initially driven by a desire for revenge against the Britannian Empire for the suffering it caused his family, Lelouch adopts the persona of Zero, a revolutionary leader aiming to overthrow the corrupt imperial system. His Geass ability, which allows him to command others to obey his will, is both a powerful tool and a moral curse, as it forces him to make choices that blur the line between heroism and villainy. Lelouch's actions are often ruthless, manipulating allies and enemies alike, making difficult sacrifices, and even orchestrating mass destruction for the sake of his ideals. His ultimate goal is to create a world where his sister, Nunnally, can live in peace, but his methods involve immense personal cost, leading to countless deaths and betrayals. What makes Lelouch's villainous side particularly compelling is his calculated coldness, the way he plays others like chess pieces while hiding his true emotions, all for a greater cause that he believes justifies the means. In the end, Lelouch becomes a tragic figure, willing to sacrifice his own life and reputation to end 66 a better world, embodying the paradox of a man who is both savior and destroyer. So that's it for the video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel.